Let me say a special good morning to our listeners, those of you via Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of To The Point, our television audience. Those of you via GBN, whether you're viewing Channel 7, Channel 11 or Channels 20, good morning and welcome to The Point for today, Friday. Also, before I move through, let me say good morning to our social media audience. Those of you who are viewing via our Facebook page or YouTube channel, good morning and welcome. This morning in my company we have Miss Marissa Williams with us this morning. Good morning. And this morning we're talking about the Grenada Cooperative League. And that's bits of our conversation this morning. We're going to talk about the anniversary celebrations and so much more in terms of information that she can share. Let me say good morning to Ms. Williams. How are you doing this morning? Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right.
I'm good this morning.
I can actually see that. Ms. Williams, tell me, you basically you are the marketing officer of the Grenada Cooperative League. Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit about yourself before we move through the conversation this morning.
My name is Marissa Williams, as you've highlighted. I'm the marketing and the research officer at the Grenada Cooperative League Limited. And basically, I'm sure you've heard about the league. You've heard about Credit Union Day. Mm-hmm. You heard about the Grenada Credit Union's brand?
Yes, I have.
All right, so all that is a league. But we work a lot. We work with credit unions. We work actually with cooperatives. So we're actually what you call the apex or the umbrella body for the cooperative sector, which includes credit unions and non-financial cooperatives.
So there's a bit of differentiating between all of the leagues where your body fits in.
All right, so our body, if you go through other islands, like Trinidad has a cooperative league, a credit union cooperative league. So if you go through the different islands, there are leagues. So the league works with the credit unions and the other cooperatives. In Grenada's case, all credit unions, and we have 10 credit unions in Grenada, are under the league. They are our affiliates.
All right.
As well as we have two other affiliates, that's Subi's Fishermen Cooperative and the Goa Fishermen Cooperative. But we have other cooperatives on the island, but they're not affiliated with us, but we work with them.
All right.
So there's a distinction.
Give me a brief explanation of it still. I'm still sort of trying to differentiate how they roll out. How does your body fit in? Are your body at the top and everybody else comes in between?
Right. So, as we said, the umbrella body, so we cover all of them.
Yes.
So we work along with them. Right? So when we say they're
affiliates.
Yes, they are affiliates. Okay. So we work. So there are cases where we'd have to negotiate with the government for certain rules, regulations about credit unions. It would come through us. So we would take although we're consulting with the managers, we're the one that would lobby for.
Okay.
If there is an issue again too, usually people would come to us to get an overview generally on the credit unions.
Okay. Give me a little bit of insight of the Grenada Cooperative League in Grenada. Give me a bit of a history of it.
So the Grenada Cooperative League was actually registered on May 20th, 1958. So that's actually our anniversary is actually this Saturday.
Okay.
So what we have done this year, we said, let's use our 65th anniversary as an opportunity to let the public know more about the Grenada Cooperative League, as well as to highlight the achievements of the league from 1958 to now. Now, when the league was opened in 1958, it was registered as the parent body for all the credit unions in Grenada. And over time, it changed to incorporate all cooperatives. And when people generally hear cooperatives, they only think about fishermen, those you have some the janitorial. CTEC, as a lot of people don't know, is a cooperative.
Right.
But we have two in Grenada. We have cooperatives placed into two categories.
All right.
We have the financial cooperatives and we have the non-financial, or you call them the producer productive cooperatives.
So when we say the financial, we talking the credit
all the
union-
credit
all the
unions. And then we
That's the
also
financial
have
benefit.
the savings union in schools.
Right.
That's a cooperative. That's a junior cooperative.
Never thought of it. That.
So yeah, so that is actually a cooperative. So as much as people see the saving, it's actually a junior cooperative,
All right.
and it's functioning really well on the island. But they're regulated by Gaffing.
Okay. That's interesting in terms of the history of that. Yeah, so 1958, and so there'll be your 65th anniversary
65th anniversary.
coming up. What are some of the plans
All right, so
for the 60th anniversary?
as we started off today, we decided that we're going to use the anniversary to focus a lot on the cooperative model. From since the year started, we've been hearing a lot of emphasis on cooperatives. We need to get more cooperatives on board. We actually work along with the Department of Cooperatives, as you see the other two panelists.
Yes.
One is from the department, yes. So we work along with the Department of Cooperatives to help people who want to form a cooperative, and they would go into details later on about that. So that anniversary celebration, we had with our discussions today. We actually have a ceremony tomorrow where we would do some awards. We don't want to go too much in detail.
All right.
We have a church service on Sunday. So we have a church service at St. George's Baptist Church. It will be live on Facebook as well, focusing on the league, its achievement, and it's Pastor Stanford Simon. He was actually a member of our board for 6 years in the past. And we also have other activities going on social media pages, like highlighting the history. Yesterday, something was shared on our social media page, and we just moved the building to our current location in Belmont. And when people saw it, they were like, wow, that's what the place looked like. These people were part there. So people were actually messaging and they were surprised. So we have a lot of our history we're going to be sharing on our pages.
All right.
So the
just rolling back in with the celebrations and the history. I mean, the history of cooperative in Grenada. Has we seen a level of improvement over the years from the initial stages to where it's at now?
Yes, definitely. But the other two panelists,
I know,
they're going to go into it. I don't want to take up their time there. Because
that.
when it started, it basically started with, you sharing information, walking around talking. The first manager of the league was a lady named Miss Edna Evans, and she's actually recognized. She's deceased now. She was actually recognized as a pioneer in the cooperative and in the credit union movement in the region. So she used to go about. She was originally from St. David. So what you found back in the day, a lot of cooperatives were formed. One in Pedmota, one in Malmont, one in a place called Ashenden, a couple places, but they were shut down over time. So she went around different radio stations at the time, and she's always joined a credit union because at the time the emphasis was on credit unions.
Trying to bring forward information about
the credit union movement and
so forth.
And so forth. And eventually, the league was given the task. So the league actually was called Grenada Credit Union Cooperative League Limited. So it used to be GCCL. And even up to this day, even if we send out documents, we say it's now Grenada Cooperative League. People still use the name they call. This is the Credit Union League.
When was that switch made to GCLL?
The year I am not sure, but it would have been because in 1998 when we moved to our location when we were there, because the building was on Church Street. That's where, well, I won't say it's our eyes now, but it used to be public service in that building there. And then we got our own building in Belmont, which was a bar first, and they bought it over there fixing.
You're making me feel like I'm not because I could remember.
So that would have been in 1998. It still carried the name Credit Union Cooperative League. But if we keep on saying credit union, it's going to make it look as if the only emphasis is on credit union. But we work with all cooperatives and credit unions.
So that's the reason for the change in terms of the cooperative.
So everybody.
It being inclusive of all cooperatives.
Yes, because we are given the mandate to work now with some of the non-financial cooperatives.
All right. How is it easy to associate members with it in terms of getting someone to come into the cooperative?
All right. So
I know we have the other folks that
and then I'm trying not to get into their section there because they would explain, how to.
But you being the marketing officer,
so what we're working on, and very soon you're going to start to hear a lot of education drive from the league's end, working along, because the Department of Cooperatives, they work along. So rather than they doing peace, we're doing peace. Teamwork. Right. So from there we're showing how to work together, how cooperation works.
All right.
And you're going to hear a lot about how you can form a cooperative, what is needed to form a cooperative. The league also would guide. So you need this document, you need that document. We even offer a lot of training at the league for cooperatives. So we usually have training sessions. We offer training also to the boards of both the financial cooperatives as a credit union and the non-financial cooperatives as well.
Okay, interesting.
And then we always, we visit in, so you're making sure that the credit unions are, we say, compliant. Okay. Making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do.
All right. Ms. Williams, I want to thank you so much for being part here. I know you got to run because we do have others that will be coming in. We're going to have an extensive conversation, of course, and some of the stuff you didn't want to get into.
Because I don't want to cover the area.
They're certainly going to get it done. So what I wish you all the best, of course. I know you being the marketing officer, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of work to do in terms of getting the anniversary celebrations kicking off and all the other things that you'll be inclusive of doing. I want to thank you once again and all the best for the rest of the day.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me again.
Hey, folks, that's why we're going to take a break for this segment. We do have some of the folks who are going to be joining us shortly. Stay with us here on To The Point, here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. Bye for now.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Macnic?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m. you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 get you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
Mr. mentioned the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and the YouTube channel for We Culture.
So welcome back to listeners and viewers this morning. It's To The Point for today, Friday, the 19th day of May, within the year 2023. Once again, good morning and welcome. And of course, I have two new guests with me what's back inside this segment, all part of the Grenada Cooperative League. We have Mr. Anthony Strud, and we have for you once again Ms. Susan Hood Williams. I want to say good morning to both of you and welcome.
Good morning.
And
Nice to have us here.
yeah, certainly welcome. Speaking a while ago, I was speaking to Miss Marissa Williams, and she was speaking about, she spoke about the history, about the league, the anniversary celebrations coming up. But we this segment now, we're going to kind of tweak it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we have Tony with us. I know you as
Yes, Tony. Tony is good.
Tony. I think it's Tony. I'm seeing your name. I'm watching your name saying Anthony, Stirred, and I'm saying,
Nice,
I know this man as Tony.
You can use our home name too if you wish. Everybody know the home name.
So the your name. We're going to leave that off for now. Leave that off for now. Now, we're talking about the anniversary coming up, but this time we're going to talk about the Cooperative League. And we're going to roll through some of what you folks do as a cooperative. You understand? We'll kick it off with you, Tony. Tell us what is a cooperative, maybe for the benefit for the listeners and viewers out there who may, heard a little bit from Marissa, but from your point of view, you being is it the field officer?
Yes, I'm the field officer.
Tell me a wee bit about what is a cooperative.
Well, a cooperative in definition is an autonomous association of persons come together under one common goal. They share one common goal. It's a business model. So it's an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs of aspiration through whatever they wish to do, right? So a group of people of common interests can come together. Comes together to form that organization.
So if I'm saying, let's root a little bit of the definition here, baby. A couple of guys on the block, they decide which we want to form something. That could be defined as a cooperative. In terms of, when I say defined in terms of cooperative, they're planning. And let's say for example, we want to probably build a mechanic shop. I got a group of us together. So they're cooperating together.
Very well.
That could be defined as an individual wanted to come together to do that.
Right.
Develop a business model from that.
The element of coming together should be there. A business aspect must be there. Right? The business aspect of that group coming together. What you coming together to do. Not just like a club to... I
understand. So it's not like a club, but you want to do a business where there's some kind of monetary returns are going to be involved.
Yes, or returns.
Monetary returns are going to be involved.
You don't necessarily mean monetary, but it's supposed to raise the standard of living. It's supposed to do good for the community in which you're setting up that. It's supposed to create some form of employment, job creation for the persons or community. Right, so it must be intentional.
All right. That's why I tweak in the monetary part of it. Because if you come together and you say employment, somebody employed gonna need some money, right? If you're gonna be employed, most likely you're gonna need some money. So that's why I fought with the monetary part. So they formally am thinking, we start in this business. So if these individuals, how does the Grenada Cooperative fits into this?
Right, as was mentioned by Marissa earlier on, the Grenada Cooperative League is the umbrella body, the apex body of all cooperatives. She did mention about the financial cooperatives and the non-financial cooperatives. So our role as the apex body, by law, we are expected to train, develop, advocate. Right, this is our key function. So we provide training for these groups, these cooperatives. We provide advocacy for them as well. We represent them in different circumstances, right? We help them grow. We develop the model with them. For instance, we work along with the Department of Cooperative as well in terms of monitoring to make sure that they are following compliance. They are fully compliant. They're doing what is expected of them as a cooperative and guide them along the line.
Now, give me a brief overview of the genesis of Cooperative in Grenada.
Should I lead off, you mean the non-financial cooperatives?
Well, I mean, we're talking...
No, that's for cooperatives.
Cooperatives. We're talking cooperative in this segment. Okay. So I just looking for a brief, the genesis of Cooperative in Grenada.
Right, okay. I'll just take it back from the financial and just run to the non-financial. There are 10 financial cooperatives. That's credit unions, right? And then there are 2 non-financial cooperatives that is registered with the league, because we speak in the league and cooperatives as well. Right, that's 2 fishing cooperatives. We have the Goa Fishermen and we have the Soubise Fishermen Cooperative that are affiliated to the league. Outside of that, there are number of non-financial cooperatives that are registered on the books of Grenada, but not much are that functional. On average, we have about 10 functional cooperatives, non-financial cooperatives, that are operating in Grenada now. There are quite a number of interest groups that are coming on board, want to form that organization, but functional cooperatives, just about 10 functional ones. But there's a lot that is registered, over 20 odd. 21, 22 plus registered. Right. Could be more than that as well.
So where does the Grenada Cooperative comes in there in terms of, maybe trying to revive these leads? But maybe they had a good intention in the formation.
Well, yes. I mean, there are challenges that comes with forming cooperatives, and sometimes they overlook that. Groups overlook that. That is why we are here now educating groups how to go about formation, along with the Department of Cooperative, who we assist in the formation of cooperatives, and they are the ones that decide whether you can register you to be a cooperative. We can register. We can help you, we can train you, we can give you all the necessary things to bring you up to speed, ready you to become a cooperative. But if the department say, nah, you're not ready yet, we cannot register you, that's as far we could go with them.
All right. Now, let's go with Susan just a wee bit. Let me say Miss Susan Hood Williams this morning, and she's the Department of Cooperative. I guess we don't mind we work on our first name basis. We could work on our first name basis. Yeah.
Well, it's a kind of connection.
Yes, a connection.
It is. But
you don't have to worry about that.
I like to work on a first name basis when I interview individuals. It can make it easier with the flow. So we work on the first name. So I say Tony and I say Susan, no problem.
Yeah.
Now, the Department of Cooperative, you being, of course, spearheading or representing here this morning. Tell us about the Department of Cooperatives.
All right. So the Department of Cooperatives, I am the Chief Cooperative Inspector, and I represent the acting registrar this morning. We would speak about the Department of Cooperatives from the holistic part of the movement itself. All right. So the cooperative movement in Grenada goes way back to the 1940s. And we had the first credit union being formed some among the civil servants, right? In inception, they survive without registration and all these kind of stuff, they just go about and get themselves formed. But in really 1955, the Cooperative Societies Ordinance was passed, but the Department of Cooperatives was established in 1957. That's a long time ago.
And that's what the anniversary of all of this kicks.
No, this is for the department.
The department, per se.
But the league is celebrating their 65 years.
I get that.
All right? And in 1958, the department was entrusted with the responsibility to regulate, to develop, and protect all cooperatives in Grenada. So by that time now, we at the department, they had legislation, they had plans to do so many things in Grenada. A matter of fact, Grenada was chosen to serve as the first pilot. Yeah, pilot project. So we can do, they did all the reforms and everything. Is
that within the OECS or the Caribbean?
Yeah, OECS.
Within the OECS.
OECS, because they had, we had two, the society, the cooperative, the Act, in that time, 1996, and then we had the latest one that we're using now, which will be reviewed. That was in 2011. All right. So the Department of Cooperative now, we had, as I said before, on April 6, 2011, the harmonized OECS, Cooperative Societies Act, number 8 of 2011 was passed by the Grenada government for increased regulation, supervision of all the cooperative society. So this is where the department came about.
So that's basically the philosophy of the
the philosophy so much. We can speak of the philosophy otherwise, but this is just the actual formation.
Okay.
And
regulatory formation.
Okay.
All right. So I can go ahead and speak about what are the responsibilities and the roles and the functions of the Department of Cooperative.
Go right ahead.
So The Department of Cooperatives, I can read that. It's a lot of information.
Go right ahead. We got the time.
Yeah, all right. So the
time.
Department of Cooperatives is charged with the task as regulators, supervising the activities of cooperative organizations and working for the development of cooperative movement in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Our main responsibilities are to administer the Cooperative Societies Act and the regulations. These tools are used to regulate, to work with them. Right. You must have a law. Right. We can't afford to have persons just doing what they want. Right? So
some level of control is definitely
needed.
Yes,
we must have control over that. Then we are to lead and manage the regulatory process. Right? So we have a procedures manual that we use. We have the benefits of registration. We have conditions required for registration. We have a step-by-step guide. That's what the officers use. Draft application form. We have bylaws that binds them together. They can do anything as any other business. They can have their bylaws. They can go out, get loans, make contracts and stuff like that with their bylaw and their work rules. Also, we help to establish and form producer service type cooperative. You would hear Marissa speaking about the producer service type. That's the department's responsibility. We are not with credit unions. We were before together, but now they have separated it and we deal with the producer service type. Okay. They are non-financial. We cannot give loans as of the credit union would give loans and so. So we are the ones that really work with this type of
in terms of filling business. Advice and so forth.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
We have what we usually do first. A group we want to form a business, as Tony said, a group of persons of like mind. They come into the office, let us know what type of business they want to form, and we would introduce. I would still have Tony with me going out introducing cooperatives to the groups. We let them know of the principles that involves, the structure and stuff, and the categories. We have different categories where you would be placed as the business, the type of business that you want. Okay. All right, and the roles. A matter of fact, I forgot one of the responsibility to register.
Okay. You, let's take a pin there for a bit, because problem. That's a part where Tony talked about where the cooperative, that's where your part come in. The Department of Cooperative come in.
Yes, we register.
So we register. Supposedly, a group come together with the role of wanting to start a cooperative. And you decide, well, whatever they're thinking about wanting to start, it may not be legitimate enough. How does you folks deal with that?
Well, we have...
Or you may say it may not be feasible for what you're planning to do. Or so do you advise it on that level?
Well, yes, we have to. We have to advise them, because a business is a business, and cooperative is unique. It's a unique type of structure. You can do... should I say any type? Any type.
Any type of cooperative.
But we also.
But I understand where the advisory part comes in. But you may, as Tony indicated, you may come in and say, whatever you're trying to do, we don't think we may be able to register you for whatever reasons.
No. Not at that point. We go through with you. Whatever business you want, we let you know exactly what cooperative is all about. Yeah, and the type of business. Most of the times we advise groups on the way they are going. If you're thinking about this, try this. Right. This may go the cooperative way better.
Because you be in the umbrella body.
Yes, both of us. We work together, yes. So we would advise them exactly on what type of business. And sometimes persons come and they say, oh, I want to form a cooperative with some Calypsonians. We have to make sure that we have the right objectives for this group of people. It's not just people, well, they may think about, oh, we can make money in singing calypso. No, it's a business. You can sing your calypso, but you can have a business. Okay. You understand? So we explain to them exactly, it's not the Calypsonians' business, but the Calypsonians have a business.
So it doesn't mean it's not an individual thing when you mean they become a part of it holistically as a group.
The members are the highest decision making, but they are in control.
Okay.
If I should stick a pin here or come in here, you see, cooperative is a business model, right? It's a business model. And if a group of persons have an idea and they decide we can form something, they might hear about cooperative. So there are reasons why they want to form cooperatives. You know, I could tell you one of the most common reasons that they like to form cooperatives, because there are a lot of people talk about funding out there. There are a lot of funding, a lot of free money out there for this kind of group. So you would see they come together and
so that the interest gets
a little
right, for free money and them kind of things. So they have an idea. So they would call us in, tell us they want to form a cooperative. Sometimes they do have their structure in place. Sometimes they don't. All they have is an idea. If they do have a structure in place, plans in place, we would listen to them and we will let them know, lead them in a path where it fits into the cooperative model, right? If there are areas in what they have planned that does not really fit properly based on legislation, based on proper governance and other areas, it wouldn't fit into the cooperative model. We will guide them along that. It will be their choice, because if they do not want to, they could form something else, like an association or something. But we will guide them and let them know what fits best into the cooperative model coming out of the idea.
All right. We drew for a break. Let's take it. We come back and we chit-chat some more. It's To The Point for today, Friday the 19th. We're coming right back, folks. Stay with us.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
This is where I say welcome back to our listeners and viewers, Classic Radio and GBN TV to the point for today, Friday the 19th day of May. Speaking, of course, with the Department of Cooperatives, we have that's Ms. Susan Hood Williams with us this morning. We have Mr. Tony Anthony Strode. I give you the correct name to introduce you, and then we go to the regular names when we turn into the conversation. We're talking about the Grenada Cooperative League this morning, and let's continue with Susan on this level. Now, there are principles that everything's are governed by.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to give us just a brief or as much information that you can probably pass in terms of the principles of cooperative. And let's go over that.
All right. I would not go through all the explanations, but I'll just touch on them briefly. There are 7 basic principles of cooperatives which distinguish themselves all over the world. Right? First and foremost is voluntary and open membership. Person, you don't really have to beg persons. You don't have to drag them. You don't have to pull them. They come in, look, I'm doing something and I would like, for persons to join with me if you like or if you're interested. So it's voluntary. If you want to come in, fine. If you don't, we don't really criticize and, this, like, because of I'm a Rasta and because I'm black and because I'm blue and I'm brown, you don't want me in. So it's open membership. The second one, democratic member control. That's where you have the control. You have power. You as the members have power to run your business. One man, one vote.
All right.
Not because you gave the idea, you came up with the idea, it's my thing. No. It's not your thing.
That is what it's called a cooperative.
Yes, it's our thing.
Okay.
Yeah? You may have the idea, yes, we appreciate that. But other person has to be on board. It's a group. You cannot have less than 10. You must have more than 10.
All right.
This too would be revised sooner or later and have more persons involved. Members' economic participation. You want to be part of it, you have to pay, like the credit unions, you pay your shares. You have your membership fee. You part of it.
Okay.
Yes. So you contribute to the building of this cooperative. This is my share. This is my contribution. This is what I own. It is a business that everybody owns.
It's inclusive. The word is inclusive.
Everything. It's inclusive. Autonomy and independence. Ooh. You're a self-help organization. The members control of that, all of that. If they enter into agreements and so with other places, it's not one man, it's the cooperative. Yeah, you have you can raise capital, you have your independence. So much to say. That is yours. But we at the department, we still have to make a little poking and make sure that, everything is going well.
The different rules and stuff that you follow,
from the law.
But you follow suit on it from time to time.
And from your bylaws, which you wrote up, we making sure that everything goes well. Education, training, and information. That's where, with the department and the league, we come in and educate you. We train you on different aspects. We train the board, we train the members to gain knowledge, understanding, to learn skills and stuff like that. Information from all over the world, we share it with you. We share how you should operate. Yeah? So this one is sort of key because persons come together and they're not sure, how should I do this, how should I do that? So we train, educate, and we give you as much information as we can. Cooperation. This one, because it's cooperative, you get the word cooperation. We come together, we work together. If another cooperative has a business that you may need something from, we work together. I buy from you, you sell to me, and those kind of things. We cooperate, we do business together. It may not be the same, but we have some interest in one another.
Okay.
All right? And concern for community. While they are focusing on the members' needs, we go through the community. Yeah? we make sure that our community is built up. We make sure that our community is well, our children's needs and such like that, maybe the older folks. So we go into the community and share what we have built, make it a better place for all of us. I may not say all of it, but we do that through the 7 principles, all of these 7 principles of cooperative.
You said something about that sort of grabbed my interest a wee bit in terms of cooperative and the league. When do we differentiate between them?
Is not that
Cooperative and the department and the league?
Yes, and the department and the league.
The differentiation is that, as I mentioned earlier on, the league main function is training and development and representation.
Okay.
Right? The department core function is regulatory. Right? They are the one with the teeth. They are the one with the power that can shut and give permission to open. But the league cannot do that. We can advise, we can train, we can develop, but we don't have the authority to shut down.
So the department comes in where a particular cooperative starts, but they may not be functioning in an appropriate manner. And they have the powers now to say, well, we may have to shut you down for whatever reason.
Right.
Yes.
And if, let me just, so you use a scenario. So if the league now see that no, there is potential, we could intervene. There's representation now.
Yeah.
So we could intervene and have a conversation with the department and say, no, I believe there is potential, we can assist in reviving that cooperative to be a viable cooperative.
All right. I'm seeing we have a caller. Let's just entertain it, because I do have a couple of more questions I need to ask.
Good morning to you again.
Good morning to you, caller.
Are you hearing me?
We are hearing you. Go right ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, when it comes to cooperative credit union, I'm very passionate about that, as with community development. And for the last couple of years, I've been fortunate to be on some events related to cooperative and credit union, in particular with the School of Greatness and the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Union and so on. Unfortunately, when these events happen, I see little participation from Grenadian personnel within the movement. But that's not the main contention I want to say. I want to say that we have given as a people lip service by and large to the issue of credit union and cooperative. During the PRG, they set up something called NAGDA. I can't remember the exact meaning for the acronym NAGDA. I was part of a training program as one of those who were trying to get a cooperative going, a bookstore cooperative, which we lost our assets with the invasion. And I was actually doing a course through that agency at the time of the invasion. And we lost our assets. We were not even able to properly register at the time. What I also noticed is that after the invasion, NAGDA went out of operation. It was responsible for Blackfin Cooperative and other cooperatives. I'm saying all of that to say, after the demise of the revolution, we have only given lip service by and large, because I still am yet to find any educational institution, whether it's in Georgia University or TMISU College, that have a department of corporate studies or even community development, which I think both should go together. I'm saying all of that because I think this sector is the only sector that will help us to survive, that will help us to transform our society into one that will feel proud enough to live, because we'll be helping each other in different ways. Unfortunately, over the years, the folks, the leaders of the cooperative movement and credit union have tried to bring in the capitalistic ethics within the movement, and it has not done justice. We need to refine how we do cooperatives, how we do credit union, because there's a science. And I heard a woman give a history of the credit union in the Caribbean this last week. And in the world, as a matter of fact, it's rich history. And we should embrace what the strength, and also marry it with a new knowledge, whether it's in finance and whatever. But we need to be scientific, and we need to be honest and open and engage our people, because if we have to save this planet, we cannot save it through capitalism. It must be through some cooperative effort. And I remember reading an article in the Grandma in which Fidel said, late Fidel Castro, that if he had to do things over he would take the approach of cooperativism and cooperative idea, including how the environmental movement and ecological movement have been doing. Thank you very much for your indulgence.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Anybody want to respond or maybe?
Yes, I want to. I think the caller make some salient points there, which leads us right to some of the core philosophies, the philosophies of cooperative.
All right.
And I will just mention about three. The philosophies of cooperative is about people helping people. The whole structure forms around people. It begins with people coming together, setting up the management structure within themselves, and still coming back. The decision of the management structure have to be authorized by the general membership again. So that's a structure, and it's about people helping people. It's about members. It's about members and ownership. It gives you ownership of a cooperative. Yeah. You know, you're not a customer, but you are owner. When you walk in a credit union, right? For example, you walking in a credit union as a member of a cooperative, as an owner of that institution, part owner, not a customer, right? And another aspect of the philosophies is all about the benefits, the surpluses, the gains, as well as the risk. It comes around. It all belongs to you, the members.
All right, interesting.
And I'm glad he mentioned about that, because sometimes I wonder if we do losing if we're going away from the philosophy sometimes. Right. And if we stick to the philosophies, the model, that cooperative model, is one of the oldest and most successful model in the world.
All right, interesting.
So I just want to reiterate. I listened to the gentleman, and I'm hearing his plea and his plight.
And the passion in which he speaks.
Yes, and he spoke about a cooperative which they had put together. I tried to get a little piece of it, NATMA or NADMA, something of that sort. You can correct me. I'm thinking, do you have a part to play in that aspect of forming that group, which we can revive? If you can get the persons that you know were involved, you can come to us at the office, and there is a section in the law says a cooperative can be revived, or if it was not registered, then we can do that. We can start the process all over and get the persons that are interested in forming that cooperative, that business. And I want to also mention to him that the league, the cooperative, and the department, we are all cooperatives.
All right.
We are one movement, but we just sort of do one financial and one non-profit.
Okay, interesting.
All right?
All right.
Yes.
Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning, you there? Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are. Go right ahead with your contribution.
Yes. I had to laugh at Bill Gates the other day with his foolishness. He was saying that we have to strike a marriage between capitalism and global warming. The question is, Bill Gates, would you cut your profits? Would you cut your company's profits in half and shrink your business to accommodate what he's saying there? You will never do that. We deal with other foolishness in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Before we entertain another caller, Tony did bring up our mention when he was speaking last, and I want Susan to probably give us a brief explanation about this. The benefits of cooperatives.
Yes. That's on me.
Yes. I want you to give us just a brief insight of the benefits of cooperative. What can individuals starting a cooperative? What are the benefits that can derive from? What are the benefits that can derive?
There are so much. There are benefits in forming a cooperative, and there are also benefits in the registration. So there are two types. Right. You have the benefits in registration, and they have the benefits in forming it. Right. So the benefits, at least let's go first with the registration, because there are a number of things that you have to do in order to be registered. Right. Have your certificate. All right. So we satisfy the common economic and social needs of its members and the communities by engaging any business activity, whether it's in production, whether it's in service, whether it's marketing, whatever. So that is before registration.
Okay.
You will be establishing a strong, sustainable human and physical resource base. Because remember, persons are coming together, and then for some reason you have some people who don't like this, don't like that, but you have to be able to work with what it is there.
And keep somebody else within the cooperative now can help you understand.
Yes, help you understand what is happening.
Okay, you gotta get.
This decision making is distributed. So persons don't have an idea what it is we're going into, and the decision is yours.
Will I want to agree or not?
Not, yes, but the majority
always stands.
Yes, always stand. We always, you would have that promotion in education that we spoke about earlier on. And this would enable the advancement of the members and communities. We encourage the discipline of thrift and saving among members, and the importance of capital and savings, a build-up for financial sustainability. Well, they said it's non-profit, but you must have something to sustain. You must have something to hold you up in case if you want to move on.
Because there will be some cost factors that's going to trip in from time. There will be cost factors.
And then you don't want to stay one place. You want to move on to somewhere else. You may want to have another business. Yeah? It's not like because I found this cooperative, I have to stay there. No. The contribution to the development of agriculture. Well, we're under the Ministry of Agriculture now, lands, fisheries, and cooperatives. So there will be a contribution to there. We have a category which stands alone, agriculture, with all the different aspects of it, industry, service sectors, and the local economy. And most of all, the benefit that we always portray and say first, thirdly, sometimes, a cooperative society shall be exempted from stamp duty, taxes, fees, and payment of income tax, corporation tax, and any other tax on the incomes of such a cooperative society.
So that's a plus.
This is a blast, I would say, but I don't want persons to take it to the advantage that, oh yes, I could form a cooperative because I will get this. No. It's not about you. It's about your business.
Okay.
All right? Everything lies around your business. If you want equipment, you want what again? Transportation. You want a bus, a vehicle to do whatever, but it must be within
what is inclusive of the business.
Thank you. So we can also just 3 benefits of forming a cooperative. Someone may ask, why form a cooperative? There are benefits. Yes. Even if Anthony would allude to all the challenges that we face, even though there are benefits. And first, the benefit is to the individual because it's income generating, a source of employment, opportunities to develop socially and economically. So that's to the individual. Then you have the members. It gives the members an opportunity to unite, achieving that common business goal. It gives them that opportunity to manage their own business. I said it.
Yeah. And it now becomes then the flexibility involved in where the strain is off of you.
Yes. So I am with a group of persons, and it's not about me alone, but it's about everybody. And thirdly, the community.
How does the community fit into this?
In a lot of ways. Being a member of a cooperative, and I remember Tony saying he would speak about one of the successful cooperatives that we have on island. Call name? Yeah. CTEC.
It's more than one.
But this one is the most successful one we can and speak about. CTEC, that gas station though. Yeah. The Bishop Highway. We look at those persons and you would say CTEC. What is this CTEC thing, you know? It's a group of taxi drivers. Taxi drivers that you see take tourists and wait for persons to call on them to do their tax. They are doing their work, but they have their business. Yeah? And the benefits that involves in them, the family, you may have a daughter or son doing an exam, maybe abroad, they can assist you with that. They can assist a community, maybe a football group, a netball group, and stuff like that. They may take care of the elderly in the community. That's where, and they can do a lot of things.
And that, as you said, that brings along the incentives so individuals know who may think of wanting to start a cooperative.
Yeah.
You can use them as a model.
You can use them as a model. Yeah. They are advanced. They have their gas station. They have a supermarket, and they have a part shop selling accessories. And now they are moving on.
Yes.
And I just said it. Yeah, you just cannot stay one place. So, unfortunately, I forgot our country.
Yeah.
Reduce unemployment, maybe we'll try very hard with that one. Because you know the youths today, I love all of them, but oh my God, they need some stability. Assisting and alleviating the poverty part of it. Yes, there are some persons who here are a little down, but that doesn't mean that they are out. You know, so we can assist in that part. And as I said before, you can do in your community or any community at all, just maybe every month you go out as CTEC or another cooperative and say, all right, we're doing this community this week, this one, give them something. I don't know what will be their criteria.
I mean, the benefits doesn't always have to be tangible. But
it can be anyhow, yeah. Increase our gross domestic product.
All right. You know, we have so much and we still be running out of time. But Anthony, I want to ask you this question before we run out of time, because we may have to take another minute or two in the program. Give me some of the challenges that cooperatives go through.
As was mentioned earlier on, I mentioned earlier at the beginning of a challenge. But some of the challenge is our conform some of our benefits. For instance,
if challenges could transform into benefits.
Right.
Okay.
For instance, real ownership is a benefit of cooperatives. You know, you are member, you are part owner. Right? Sharing ownership give people a stake in the pie. You know, the members decide which direction the organization go. Shared ownership boosts productivity, right? Imagine you working in the cooperative and I walk in as a member. That should boost your productivity, because here is your boss walking in and seeing because I as a member walking in, I can report you, I can take decisions at the general meeting that can affect if you're not doing your work properly. So it boosts productivity, should boost productivity. And membership, shared ownership, enhance innovation, right? All these things are benefits of the cooperatives, but it can also we see it now as sometimes as challenges that we have facing our cooperatives here. Mentioned earlier on, over-dependent on outside assistance. A cooperative may form a group of persons may come together depending on some rumor they hear about
somebody giving
funds
money.
free money they could obtain.
So if we want to tap into that.
So they want to tap into that. Without the real unity of purpose, should we are going to provide employment for our community. We're going to help our people grow from one level to the next level. Without focusing on that, their focus is the money. And that's a challenge we have. Lack of organizational structure. The cooperative have a set organizational structure that it operates under. And when you form cooperative, sometimes if that organizational structure is lacking, that's a big challenge, right? That's a challenge. Also, lack of planning. You know, you just come up with an idea and you just want to jump into it without proper planning. Scripture talk about if a man doesn't plan, to build a house properly, he would end up building it wrong, in a sense, right?
Talking about improper foundation.
Improper foundation and so on and so forth. Lack of funding, and we know that is the critical one. Lack of funding is a big challenge here, and maybe that is what causes some group to latch on to the funding that they would hear about, the free money, right? Lack of funding is a big challenge here in Grenada. We need to develop our people to deal with project writing and tap into this source of funding that we can properly utilize. Lack of management, supervision, and lack of business skills. That's some of the critical things that we are faced with. We see faced with some of the cooperatives that we work with. But I also want to jump over to some of the success story that was mentioned. Susan mentioned CTEC. CTEC, yes, is one of our biggest success story. But there are some success story that goes unnoticed that is critical to our society based on our history. Guava fishermen is a success story. Guava fisherman is just about 5 years old, right?
That was my baby.
It's just about 5 years in existence. And they're peddling about $1 million plus, right? For a small business. The Subi's Fishermen Cooperative, and that's one I would like to mention. That cooperative would have had its ups and its downs. It's ups and it's downs. It's high waters and low waters, but yet continue to provide valuable service to its members and the community in which it's located, and part of good money. It's a viable institution right there that paddling good money, right? And that's a success story there for me. You understand?
All right.
For us, right.
Yeah. I want to thank you both for chiming with this morning. Very informative information, I must say. And I'm sure the view and listen public did absorb a whole lot, and probably going to see more folks taking up the mantle and decide, let me form a cooperative, coming to you folks, getting the ideas in terms of moving it forward. That particular group are coming together and forming a cooperative movement forward. Any final information you want to throw before we take a wrap for this morning? Anything final?
Yes, I did an interview recently, and I did encourage the media that's a business model they should think about jumping into. So I'm going to throw it out here as well, right? Also, from what I see in our communities happening now, our CMOS growers, right? Our CMOS growers, that's one of the grouping I would like us to see come together and form a cooperative to capitalize.
We see a lot of folks are
on
getting
the trending market that is existing in CMOS growing and CMOS production. Right?
Let me just continue. Yeah, I know we will say we're going to make it fine, but has the league ever thought about approaching individuals in terms of when you see them?
Yes,
is it an option? Is that an option?
Yeah, we had a first session with a group of CMOS growers, not all, but a group of CMOS growers. It was interesting, and we are still right now here encouraging them to come together, take the second step. The first step was coming together, meeting with us. We share what are the valuable areas that is necessary to them. I think it's time they need to take another step now to go further into creating formation, right?
All right.
And I want to throw that out there to them.
All right, thanks.
So,
any final?
I would say that years ago we went around doing our campaign, promoting cooperatives all around the island. And these were our challenges. A lot of challenges there. We spoke to persons. Some, maybe one or two, may have spoken to us, but it never really, we never really heard anything from them again. So these are our challenges. We went out, did our awareness, and you cannot really, as we said, we cannot really push people or beg them, if they want. But my closure here this morning is from my minister's voice, that he gave some encouragement. That's Minister Adrian Thomas. He says cooperatives can be beneficial to our people in many ways. Cooperatives recognize and promote social, educational, and community values, and isolated and powerless individuals can, by combining with one another, achieve advantages available to the rich and to the powerful, so that they can advance not only materially but also morally. This was from our Minister of State with responsibility for agriculture and fisheries, lands, and cooperatives.
All right.
That's what my last word would be.
I want to thank you both once again. As I mentioned before, I said it was certainly a very informative information this morning. And being the 65th anniversary of the Cooperative League, certainly hope that, as the celebrations goes through, probably can see more folks getting involved, more information. I certainly should have more visits from you folks to come on in and share more information than we did this morning.
The whole of last week we had a few, and this week coming, we have to go out and do some introduction.
Right. I must say, though, before I close, I represent the league. The league is committed to the assisting cooperatives, especially the non-financial cooperatives, in all aspects of development. Right? We are committed to that. And the financial sector, cooperative sector, is also committed, like the credit unions. I know the management of these credit unions are willing and committed to assisting the non-financial cooperative sector.
All right. Interesting. I want to say thanks once again. This is where we're going to take a close for today's program of To The Point. Join me again next week for another edition. As always, say, be good to yourself and others. Have yourself a great day, folks. Join us again.